Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about thread breaking. I understand how frustrating this can be when you have tons of work or tons of things to sew. You experience the thread breaking and miss sewing. So just sewing few minutes, few seconds, your thread cut. So it's very frustrating. So that's why in this video I'll be sharing 5 possible reasons why you experience this and solutions to them. I really hope this video will be very helpful to you. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing we'll be talking about is your needle. The needle is very important, as there are several issues with the needle that can affect your thread and can cause your thread to break. The first thing is the way your needle is fixed. So this is a needle here, and you can see that the needle is of 2 sides. The flat place that is just plain, and the other part that is active is there's a line in between, so it's not smooth. There's a line in between it. I hope you can see this. So you see that this part is different from this part. So the way you fix your needle is very important. This flat place should be facing here. You get? It should face your right. The flat end should face your right. And this part that has a line in between should face your left. So just like the one I have here. So when this needle is not properly fixed, it can cause your thread to break. All you have to do is to remove your needle and change it. Just change it the other way. Another thing with the needle is when your needle is bad, probably it's broken or it got bent. So when this occurs, you notice that you experience thread break. So all you have to do is to change it completely. And again, depending on how long you've been using your needle, if you've been using your needle for a long time, so it's advisable you just change it completely. So that is it for the needle. So another reason why you experience thread break is the thread itself. So the thread you use also matters. The compatibility of your thread and your material. For those who use the machine to sew bags, I have a video on the type of thread, the needle size, and everything you need to sew leather conveniently with your machine. So the compatibility of your thread and your material is very important. Another thing is if your thread is old. Probably you have it at home for a long time, or you can even just buy the thread, but the thread is old. Might have stayed long with the seller, you can't tell. So when your thread is old, or probably let me say bad quality thread, you notice that some thread quality is very bad. Immediately you just try cutting it like this, you just cut, but it's not supposed to be like that. So your thread quality also matters. If you have a thread with a bad quality, there's every tendency that it will break when you sew. And again, another thing is when your machine is not well threaded. So when you want to thread your machine, you see the way the thread is facing this way. You place it like this and you bring it down. I hope you can see this clearly. You pass it here first. When you jump any of this step, you run into trouble when you sew. Then you pass it around the tension. You pass it in here. So after that, you just place in your needle, your thread, sorry. So that's it, very easy. So the last thing I will mention under the thread is there's possibility that your thread might have tangled with the thread holder, something like this. So I don't know how it happened, but it do happen. So when that occurs, your thread breaks when you sew. So now we're moving to the third reason So the third reason I'll be mentioning is your plate, your machine plate. So it's very possible that your machine plate is bad. So you see the hole where the needle enter might have gotten bad. So that also causes your threads to break when sewing. So you can change the plates. Please, if you know these tips are being helpful and useful to you, do well to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and share. And if you have any question, please, you can let me know in the comment section. So the fourth reason, I mentioned that the first is the needle, and under the needle I made mention of different points. So the second is your thread, and the third is your machine plate. Now the fourth, bobbin. So when your bobbin is not well placed in the bobbin holder, it can cause your thread to break. So this is your bobbin holder, and this is your bobbin. So you see the way it is, the way it rolls. So you place it like this in your bobbin holder. This way, it enter like this, and like this, and like this. I hope you see that. So if it's not well placed in your bobbin holder, it can cause your threads to break when sewing. So the last but not the least that I want to mention, the fifth reason, is your thread tension. So this is your thread tension. When your thread tension is too tight, it won't let the thread move freely. You see, it won't let it move freely, and that can cause your thread to break when you sew. So when you turn it this way, when you turn it to yourself, I hope that makes sense. When you turn it to yourself, you are tightening it, and the more you tighten it, the more the thread won't move. It will become very difficult for your thread to move, thereby causing the thread to break when you sew. So you have to loosen it a bit. You have to loosen it a bit so that your thread can freely move. I hope you understand that. So the thread tension can also cause your thread to break when sewing. So these are the points. If you know this video is useful, I will appreciate it if you leave a lovely comment in the comment section, and share, subscribe, and like. See you in my next video. Thank you.